Long before they curled up on our beds, cats were fierce and solitary hunters. Their ancestors, the African wildcats, roamed deserts and grasslands, avoiding humans entirely. But around 10,000 years ago, in the Fertile Crescent, farming began. With stored grain came mice and rats, and where there were rodents, wildcats followed. First, it was a cautious arrangement. The cats hunted pests, and humans let them stay. Unlike dogs who were bred and trained, cats chose this life themselves. They came and went freely, drawn by food and safety. Over time, humans began to enjoy their presence, and cats learned that not all humans were a threat. A remarkable sign of this early bond is a 9,500-year-old grave in Cyprus, where a cat was buried beside a human. This was more than pest control, it was companionship. In ancient Egypt, cats became sacred. Linked to the goddess Batet, they were symbols of protection and grace. To harm one was a crime, and some were mummified like royalty. Cats roamed temples and homes freely, adored for both their hunting skills and beauty. By then, cats had secured a place in our world, not by being tamed, but by choosing us. As cats traveled with traders and sailors, they reached Greece, Rome, and far beyond. On ships, they were prized for keeping food stores free from rats. In cities, they guarded homes and warehouses. Wherever humans went, cats followed, not as servants but as quiet partners. Yet in medieval Europe, their fate darkened. Cats became victims of superstition, linked to witchcraft and bad luck. Many were killed, and without them, rats multiplied. Historians believe this loss helped spread the Black Plague, a grim reminder of how much humans relied on their feline allies. Over time, their reputation recovered. Farmers once again welcomed them into barns, and households found comfort in their presence. By the 18th and 19th centuries, cats began a new chapter, no longer just workers but companions. The Victorian era saw a surge in pet keeping, with cat shows, breeding, and the first real celebration of cats as family members. Today, over 500 million domestic cats live alongside us. They still carry the spirit of their wild ancestors, independent, graceful, and proud. Yet they curl up beside us, purring softly, as if to say the choice they made thousands of years ago still stands. Cats have never truly been tamed. Instead, they have woven themselves into our lives on their own terms, leaving us to wonder if we chose them, or if they chose us. Our journey with cats is more than just a history. It's a story of patience, trust, and quiet understanding. Unlike dogs, who work hard to please us, cats have always kept a piece of the wild inside them. Maybe that's why their companionship feels so special. They choose when to come close, when to curl up beside us, and when to wander off into their own mysterious world. Even today, scientists say cats aren't fully domesticated. They're still genetically close to their wild cousins. And yet, when they look at us with slow blinks or rub their heads against our hands, it feels like the oldest, most personal friendship in the world. We've built temples for them, painted them into art, written poems about their grace, and filled our homes with toys just to see them play. They've stood with us through ancient harvests, long voyages, and modern cities, adapting without losing themselves. Maybe the truth is simple: we never owned cats. We just became part of their lives, and in return, they became part of ours. And as long as there are humans to feed them, protect them, and love them, cats will be here, watching us with wise eyes, purring softly, and reminding us that some friendships are born not from taming, but from choice. The story of the first domesticated cats begins with Felis libica, the African wildcat. These cats were slender, agile hunters with sandy coats and faint stripes, perfectly built for stealth. Around 10,000 years ago, they began living near human farming settlements, drawn by the rodents that fed on stored grain. Over generations, their temperament shifted. Wild caution gave way to tolerance, then trust. These early cats looked very much like our modern short-haired tabbies, but there were no breeds yet. Instead, they were natural variations shaped by climate and environment. Ancient Egypt became their first great home of honor. Egyptian art shows sleek, short-haired cats lounging beside noble families, wearing gold collars and even earrings. They were linked to the goddess Batet, protector of the home, and were mummified like royalty when they died. Owning a cat was a mark of prestige, not just for farmers, but for priests, merchants, and pharaohs themselves. Some historians believe certain temples kept their own sacred cats, cared for by dedicated attendants. When these cats traveled with traders along the Nile and across the Mediterranean, they began to seed the lineage of the domestic cat throughout the world. Every modern cat, from the common alley cat to the show-winning Persian, owes part of its ancestry to these wild, clever hunters who chose to live beside humans. As cats spread beyond Egypt, they found their way into the hearts of kings, queens, and rulers. In imperial China, the Chinese Li Hua, a short-haired tabby with green eyes and a strong build, was celebrated in poetry and paintings, often kept by members of the royal court. In Japan, the Japanese bobtail, with its distinctive short tail and tricolor coat, became a symbol of good fortune, especially among samurai families and imperial households. In Europe, the arrival of long-haired cats from the east was nothing short of a sensation. The Turkish Angora, prized for its silky white coat and graceful frame, enchanted aristocrats. The Persian cat soon followed, winning the heart of Queen Victoria, who kept several in her royal residences. Her love for the breed made Persians a must-have for the wealthy elite. Cats also had famous admirers in political and military circles. French statesman Cardinal Richelieu was known for keeping over a dozen cats in his palace. Even in the heat of political intrigue, his cats were treated as trusted companions. And in the 20th century, British Prime Minister Winston Churchill adored his marmalade cat, Jock, who had free run of official meetings, including wartime strategy sessions. For these leaders, cats were more than pets. They were symbols of comfort, intelligence, and independence, qualities admired by those in power. Though cats are not known for marching into battle like dogs or horses, history remembers a few remarkable feline companions in times of war. During World War I and II, ship's crews often kept ship's cats to hunt rats and boost morale. Some became minor celebrities among sailors. A black and white cat named Simon served on the British warship HMS Amethyst and was awarded the Dickin Medal for bravery after surviving injuries and continuing to catch rats during a siege. There are also stories, half legend, half truth, of warriors and rebels keeping cats as symbols of resilience. Ancient Japanese folklore speaks of samurai who believed their cats could sense danger and warn them of assassins. In more recent tales, soldiers in the trenches of World War I wrote in letters home about stray cats who slept beside them in the cold, bringing a rare moment of comfort amid the chaos. Even beyond the battlefield, famous generals have been fond of cats. American General Dwight D. Eisenhower kept cats during his military career, enjoying their calm presence in times of high stress. Some historians note that Napoleon Bonaparte, despite his legendary military prowess, was said to have a deep respect and a touch of fear for cats, calling them mysterious creatures that could never be fully controlled. From the temples of Egypt to the decks of wartime ships, cats have been silent witnesses to history, sometimes observers, sometimes companions, but always there on their own terms.